You've been lied to by Zillow, Realtor.com, other home service apps out there, or at least misled. Now let me tell you the insider secrets as a real estate agent. Hey guys, my name is Chris Fuhrman and I'm a real estate agent in Philadelphia, and I regularly work with clients that have come from other agents from Zillow and other platforms. Zillow and Realtor.com, when you go on the website to look for properties, and I'm sure you do, they're great platforms and give you a lot of super helpful information, and there's definitely a place for them in the market. But one of the things that is confusing, and you probably don't know this yet if you haven't actually clicked the button, but when it says contact an agent, you might think that's going to contact the listing agent, or when it says schedule a tour, you have no idea really what's going on. Well, as soon as you hit that button, contact us, contact agent, reach out, whatever it's called, send us a message, book a tour. As soon as you do that, boom, $80 gets charged to a real estate professional, real estate agent. 80, 40, 20, whatever the number is, generally it's going to be above $50, maybe up to like $200. For your information. Yeah, they're selling your information. You can read the disclaimer when you go to their website. I'm sure it's there. I haven't done it. I don't really care to, but that's what's happening. That's what happens. Now, one of the things that you probably are thinking when you hit contact agent about a particular home you're interested in, you might think it's going to contact the listing agent because you might want to find out a particular fact about that home. So you want to talk to the listing agent, right? Totally makes sense. That's not what happens, right? Sells it to an agent who wants to be the buyer agent for you, right? That's how a lot of real estate professionals get their client leads from Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever other website platform is out there that is a aggregator basically of listings. Now, again, super helpful platforms, but if you were thinking you're getting a listing agent, think again. Now, one thing to note real quick, in case you're not working with a good agent, is you actually do not want to talk to the listing agent. Now, you might think you do, you might think that's a good idea, but you're probably not experienced purchasing homes every single day or every week or once a month. If that's you, if you're the average person in America or wherever you're at that has access to Zillow or Realtor.com, you don't know what you're doing that well. You don't do this all the time, right? So if you're going to talk to a listing agent on the phone who is not representing you, and you give them information that you maybe shouldn't, well, that could be you and will be used against you in negotiations. I've literally had this happen with some of my clients that come to me, unfortunately, a little bit later in the process. They start the process reaching out to the listing agent. Well, what do you think the listing agent is going to do if you tell them, hey, saw a property was listed at, let's say, $500,000. That's the property. And you're like, oh, that's a good price. I was looking at a home the other day for $700,000, right? Now, maybe you won't say that outright, but if they kind of fish that information from you, well, they know that you can definitely pay list price for that property, right? And obviously above that. So if you're going to later come in with an offer lower than list price, the listing agent has some information you do not want them to have. So trust me when I tell you this, you do not want to reach out to listing agent. You can get that information with a local expert that can represent you, meaning a buyer's agent, or there's plenty of other ways to get that information. You do not want to talk to the person you're going to be negotiating against unless you're very experienced in working with listing agents, which basically you're not going to be unless you're a real estate professional. The second thing to consider when you're hitting that button on Zillow or Realtor.com or what have you is, again, I already explained this, that information gets sold to a real estate agent who wants to represent you as a buyer's agent. So why would you not want to use Zillow or Realtor.com or what have you to click that button to get connected with a buyer's agent? Well, anyone who has a real estate license, essentially, and has money can get on a platform and start paying for those leads, your information, right? Or I said earlier, they could charge maybe $80 every time you click that button. Well, if you're willing to pay $80 as a real estate agent professional, but you're, let's say, brand new, never sold a home in your life, is that the person you want to work with? Or let's say they're buying leads, your information, in a particular zip code that you want to move to, but that person, that real estate agent, lives very far away, knows very little or nothing about that zip code. Do you want to work with them? Well, do you want to work with someone with zero experience, or do you want to work with a really good real estate professional? So I would caution you against hitting that button, schedule a tour, contact agent, whatever it is. Do not hit that button if you want to work with a good real estate agent. The third thing to consider before hitting that button on Zillow or Realtor.com is that you're probably not getting paired with a local expert. As mentioned, if you've got $80, if you've got whatever the cost is, and you're a real estate agent, you can buy leads, your information, in whatever zip code you want in America. So, do you want to work with someone who just wants to maybe work in, let's say, Rittenhouse Square, where I'm located in Center City, Philadelphia? Rittenhouse Square is one of the most affluent neighborhoods in the city, very high price point. A lot of real estate agents want to work in that space because it just makes sense, right? You want to be where the affluent people are if that's the type of client you want to work with. So it's a more competitive zip code. So there's going to be a lot of people vying for those leads, your information. Do you want to work with someone that has no experience working with affluent clientele in high-end buildings, high-end property, that's a very good local expert in Rittenhouse Square for this example? Probably not, right? You want the person that's doing the most business in that area, that provides really high-level service, that knows what they're talking about in that particular neighborhood, that's experienced there, that's a local expert. Well, if you hit that button on Zillow, you're probably not getting paired with a local expert, or at least you have no idea. So again, I would caution you against hitting that button. Oh, and don't get me started on Redfin or other models where you click. It's not the same. Those models typically don't sell your information to another real estate agent. They have their own agents on staff that are W-2 employees. Do you want to work with an employee when purchasing a home? Or do you want to work with a business owner that runs their business really well at a high level? In my experience, and in some of my clients' experiences working with those types of companies, you're going to get the same service you would if you called Geico right now, their 1-800 number, and got that amazing personalized 1-800 experience. I think you get the drift here. So I would caution you before clicking that button on Zillow, Realtor.com, contact agent, schedule a showing. You want to work with someone who knows what they're doing, who's experienced, who's the local expert, who is recommended to you, or who you found online, maybe on YouTube watching a video like this, or you really know that they know their stuff. So consider that before clicking the button. Now, I think a ton of people watching this video are probably not going to be relocating to Philadelphia, but on the off chance that you are, watch this video playlist right here talking about all the awesome neighborhoods in Center City, Philadelphia to learn more. Just click on it, check it out, and enjoy.